Toilet paper shortage, part 2, here we go again. And more troubling reports about what's going on at banks across the United States. Also, we're seeing issues with propane. Weird and, shall I say, suspicious cell phone tower outages in Arkansas. And we got Chinese hackers attacking and targeting U.S. infrastructure, and so very, very much more on this video today. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and these are your reports coming from all over the United States and from around the world, what you are seeing and what you think is important sharing with others. Thank you so much for all your reports and updates. We do want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. They do a fantastic job helping people get out of retirement accounts in stocks and bonds and over into gold, silver, and platinum coins. Physical metals in your retirement account. You do need a banker to help you with that, and Jonathan and his team they just do a fantastic job. There'll be a link at the end of the video for them. All right, this is a viewer in Ohio. I work for a long-term nursing facility. The housekeeper said paper towels, toilet paper, and trash bags are all on double back order. They can't order them. So what's a nursing facility supposed to do if they can't order toilet paper? Friends, now we are seeing issues out there at stores, and residential toilet paper doesn't seem to be having any problems. But where I am starting to hear some issues of institutional toilet paper. It's two different kinds of toilet paper. The bigger rolls, those are having a little bit more of an issue. Commercial toilet paper and certain suppliers. So be paying attention to that. Make sure you do have your stock up on that. But let's continue on here with this update. Also, we are struggling to get some meds from the pharmacy in a timely fashion. So we're hearing that for sure. Lots of people are having problems getting different kinds of medications out there, especially pain medications. This is a viewer. They say, wanted to tell you of an experience I had today at my PNC branch in Northeast Ohio, PNC Bank, friends. I went in to wire some money for a rather large purchase. I was asked the standard questions like, do you know who it's going to? And am I sure it's a reputable company? And that makes sense, right? That they'd ask you that kind of thing. Make sure you're not being scammed, that you're not like sending it to someone who told you they were so-and-so or whatever over the phone. I was asked what it was. I said a major purchase. She asked me exactly what is it. I told her it wasn't her business. I said I didn't think she should know exactly what it is, what I'm buying. As she went to get the manager, she uttered, "We know everything you buy already." I was then told that in order for them to send a wire with my money, they'd need to know exactly what it is. I explained to the manager that said I was buying an art piece. I then told someone I had a valuable piece of my house. I said it's no one's business what I was purchasing. They refused to send the wire. Refused to send their money. I plan on closing my account as soon as I can get everything lined up. It had me rather mad. How can we function these days without a bank account? And let me add, how can we function these days without access and without the freedom to spend our money? Right? If you don't spend your money in an appropriate way, they can just refuse to send payments and such. This is from another viewer on another bank. The larger part of my paycheck goes to Chase Bank. I've been wanting to move my money out. The rest goes into smaller credit unions. My son keeps telling me to use USAA. So they went ahead with that. And then they got into the legal stuff. I thought the wording was odd that a notice comes up. Federal law, including the Patriot Act, requires us to get to know you and your planned usage for the account. Your planned usage. You might be planning on funding some Canadian truckers or something so they can shut you down. All that insurgency type stuff. You might be giving your money to some anti-abortion group out there, that just blows some people's minds. Or maybe you're give it to like one of these Christian organizations. Can't do that either, can we? Because maybe they don't agree with what's in the Bible, and so this Christian organization that's teaching out of the Bible may run afoul of some of these doctrines of democracy. Apparently, that's what we're seeing out there. Some of these very reputable organizations are now being called hate groups. And it's like they've never said anything hateful ever about anybody. KM says, both Aldi's near me in South Jersey, no pasture-raised eggs for weeks. Very little organic OJ. Now, orange juice has been in shortage because of the issues down in Florida, right? Very little organic soups for months, and no organic chicken/beef broth, no organic bone broth, but plenty of bioengineered garbage. Well, yep, all the expensive stuff is going to be in short supply for sure, but prices are going to keep going up on everything, isn't it? If you guys have updates, please don't hesitate to send them in. Just reply to any one of the videos on this channel. Make sure it is like a top level comment. Like, don't reply to somebody else's reply or something like that. Just put a regular comment in, use the word update, and give us some sort of geographical location. If you need to keep yourself anonymous because like work or something like that, or somebody you've talked to might identify you or something like that, you can email me directly at poplarpreparedness@gmail.com. Karen says, FBI director warning about Chinese hackers on finance, electrical grid, and water companies. So this is a quote from said Director Ray. China's hackers are positioning on American infrastructure in preparation to wreak havoc and cause real-world harm to American citizens and communities, if and when China decides the time has come to strike. If or when. Okay, friends. So when Steve is talking about, getting some 2-liter bottles, filling them up with, tap water. When I'm talking about taking some steps to make sure you have food stockpiled, your water stockpiled, and have plans for how you're going to power your cell phones. We look at those big solar generators and everything like that, and I get that. That's out of a lot of people's price range. And I've told you that's not where I started. Back when I was struggling and everything like that, I had a little solar panel. I still have that, and I brought it out a few times here before. A little 20-watt solar panel, folding solar panel, and one of those little battery backups, one of those little battery chargers. You can recharge your cell phone a couple times off that battery charger, and then you can recharge the battery pack with your solar panel. I mean, that's not terribly expensive. You can do that for relatively cheap. And at the very least, getting one of those little battery backups. That way you can at least have 4 or 5 recharges of your cell phone on that little thing. If you have to go to some disaster center or your community center to recharge your batteries, recharge your cell phones, not only do you plug in your cell phone, but you plug in one of those battery packs. So you're charging your cell phone and the battery pack, and when you go home, you don't have to keep going back. I've worked in disaster zones, and that's one of the things we do is we offer places for people to recharge their cell phones. And a lot of people come out to do their laundry, to take showers, and to recharge their cell phones. It's what happens in disaster zones. So now we're being told by the FBI director, hey, Chinese hackers are preparing to take down our grid. If there wasn't other reasons, that would be sufficient for everyone to say we need to be getting more prepared. So hopefully everyone's getting more prepared out there. Roseanne says, went shopping at Kroger here in North Texas. A small jar of organic mayonnaise was $2.99 for the longest time. A couple weeks ago, it went up to $3.99. Today, it's $4.49. Now, of course, we need to point out the obvious here that mayonnaise, especially organic mayonnaise, is actually made out of eggs. And eggs have been going up in price pretty dramatically, right? They They say no organic beef broth for ages and very low supply of regular beef broth. The prices are jumping quicker and more than I have ever seen in 50 years. Isn't it great to be part of history, friends? No. And trust me, as history accelerates around us, you're not going to like what comes next either. Right now, things are normal. It's about to get crazy. A viewer says, we're having trouble getting propane. Been a customer for 20 years. Talked with Andy, who has been in propane industry for 46 years. Here's the bullet points of the conversation. Propane price went up $1.30 a gallon just in the last 3 weeks. Shale wells have been closed. Admin, the government, passed executive order, no drilling on public land. And an article in Citizen Voice just came out too, talking about stuff. We live in Monroe County, Pennsylvania. So if you need propane, if you heat from propane, might want to be a little more proactive on getting yourself topped up if you can, or making sure that you have extra backups. Karen says, our local food pantry, Bigfoot, Walworth County, Wisconsin. So it's a relatively small town, it sounds like. We have an average of 8 clients both Friday and Saturday. That's normal. This Friday we had 60 clients. Today, Saturday, we had 42. Food pantries are getting slammed with people who can't afford food looking for food. And we're also hearing out there that food pantries are not getting the same donations that they normally do. So if there's a faith-based organization or a like-minded organization out there that does food pantry type stuff, you might want to donate some food to them if you're doing all right. Please do be taking care of people in your community as best you can. Be a giver, not just a taker, right? And I'm preaching to the choir here. I know you're all like, yeah, I don't want to be a taker. I want to be a giver. I want to produce enough, not only for myself, but that I can support other people, help other people. Michelle says, my local Walmart in Aberdeen, Washington, is now pulling the no cash BS. They are supposedly out of cash. If they don't have cash, they can't give you change, right? Revsu says, it's not the 12,000 managers, talking about UPS, you need to be concerned about with UPS. My son works there. They are telling the employees, sometimes at the door, not to come in. Mostly they are calling them off for duty each day before they come in. They can say what they want, but the employees are largely being discarded. And no, the managers and supervisors are definitely not safe from dismissal either. So in addition to these 12,000 layoffs, they are calling off people regularly, apparently. These are not the 12,000, so they're kind of soft laying off people. UPS is in complete disarray. We live in central West Virginia. You talked about ghost jobs, and I understood. But this has gone to an entirely different level of ghosting. So it's not fake jobs that they're not hiring for. It's that they have people on the books, and they're not giving them work. Happy says, Northwest Washington. My local Walmart is remodeling and taking 10 of the 12 register lanes out and replacing them with self-checkout. You know, this is just getting downright confusing because we see some of the Walmarts moving in the direction of less self-checkouts, and we see other ones moving in the direction of more self-checkouts. And I think as we look through things, we're going to probably see a trend that the places with high theft are going to start trending towards less self-checkouts. The place with low theft is going to start trending towards more self-checkouts, but then there's another whole layer here too, that you have places with high mandatory minimum wage are going to be moving towards more self-checkouts, and the places with low minimum wages are going to be moving towards bringing back employees. So that's kind of complicated because those two seem to be moving in opposite directions. I don't know how they're going to work this out. It looks like Walmarts are out there testing what's the best direction for these things. What works best? It seems like Walmart hasn't quite figured out the magic, but they have enough stores to play around with. They should be able to figure out the data on what is the most profitable and what is the best experience for shoppers and everything. So it's interesting to see them messing around with that. Hopefully they come to some good conclusions soon. Hopefully they, yeah. Happy says, yeah, so my FedEx driver said that he has been cut to 2 days a week because they don't have enough packages getting shipped to need full-time drivers. So this seems to indicate the reason why UPS and potentially FedEx are looking at cutting back is because they don't have enough packages moving. And if they don't have enough packages moving, what does that mean? It means people aren't ordering as much online, and they're not, it sounds like the economy is slowing down. If the economy is slowing down, it makes sense that the package handlers are cutting back. But that means the economy is definitely moving in the wrong direction. Scott says, in Shreveport, Louisiana, we've been under boil advisory warning for about 2 weeks. Do you need water storage? Yes. Do you need ways of purifying your water? If you get a boil water advisory, that means they haven't been able to test all around once they get the water back on, or there may be contaminant in the water. So there may have been some sewage that got in there or something like that, some kind of contamination. Generally speaking, they're saying there isn't chemicals in the water. There may be bacteria or viruses in the water. So if you, instead of boiling, you can use other forms of water purification, chemical or like ceramic filters or good charcoal filters. But be careful with the charcoal filters. Make sure it's rated for that. RJP says, I don't know if it's just a fluke in my area or widespread, but over half my county in north central Arkansas has been without AT&T self-service since February 1st, with at least 2 towers not working, even though with as widespread of an area across the county as it is, it seems like it must be more than just 2. Either way, customer service is saying 1 tower should be back online this week and the other next week, which means people will be over a week with no cell phone service. And of course, with Arkansas, that's one of those places where a lot of preparedness type folks have set up shop. Some of the more famous people here on YouTube, not me, are over there. And so that does definitely raise some flags in our minds. The feds have a distinct interest in people in Arkansas. And so when you see a lot of cell phone blackouts, it's just like, is there something going on there? I don't have any information suggesting it is, but it definitely is interesting. If you're in that area, be aware of those outages. All right, folks, please do keep your reports coming in. If you want to get some more information from Genesis Gold Group about what you can do with your retirement account, there's a link right there. Just fill out your form and they'll send you a packet of information and contact you. If you want to check out another video from the channel, there's one right up there. Thanks so much for watching. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.